r/ask Reddit. What was ruined because too many people started doing it? I live in an apartment complex right next to a university. I'm originally from a more rural area where we frequently had bonfires. My apartment complex has a little fire pit, so I bought some firewood for a taste of home. Every few weeks, I had a few people over and we had a small fire. It was cool. Nobody was rowdy. We only burned wood, and we always cleaned up after ourselves. My neighbors eventually caught onto the fun and started having their own fires. Over time, the fire pit grew in popularity until someone was having a fire just about every weekend. Trash was being left all over the place. Beer bottles were tossed into the ashes, and noise became an issue. It escalated to the point that college students were coming over from their dorms, throwing decent sized parties, and even burning furniture. The police were called one too many times, and now the fire pit is filled in. To me, this is the most depressing comment here. Sorry for your loss. When I was at school, the shop across the road from the bus stop I got off of to go home had a small hot food section. Things like sausage rolls, pasties and burgers all cooked that day. By the time I got off the bus, they gave this stuff away for free as it was deemed past its best. For months I went in, had a nice chat with the staff and got something if there was something left. This was until my brother saw me eating a sausage roll and I told him, do not under any circumstances tell people about this. Well, 1 week later they had to stop doing it as my brother had told ducking everyone, and 30 people a day charged into this tiny shop begging for free stuff. Edit. Just to clarify, my brother is an a-hole but not overly malicious. Certainly no more so that I am to him. Is your brother stupid or did he want to sabotage you? This one little neighborhood restaurant my wife and I used to like to go to, it had great food, great service, and a quaint, relaxing ambience. Then it appeared on diners, drive-ins, and dives with Guy Fieri, and now the place is always busy and the service sucks and the food isn't as good anymore. I used to go to the bakery on Cakebot about once a week with my girlfriend. We would grab like a cupcake or brownie or a pastry or something and split it. At first I thought it was cool that they were making a TV show about it. By the end of the first season, there was a 2-hour line to get in. We hardly ever went back. Maybe if we walked by at an off time and the line was super short we would go in. But it just got too crazy. Once a restaurant enters Flavortown, they are never the same again. Adblock. Now every website has a warning. It used to be a rare sight. Surprised that nobody has said eBay. There was a time when you could get genuine bargains. Now it's just a less practical version of Amazon. I bought an item recently from eBay that was $15 on eBay but $12 on Amazon. I don't have Prime and couldn't be bothered to try to meet their minimum, so I just paid the extra and bought it on eBay. The item arrived in 2 days in Amazon branded packaging, even with an invoice from Amazon inside. The seller just takes your money and buys the item for you as a gift using his Amazon Prime account. So yes, a less practical version of Amazon. Drop shipping. Completely fine for some vendors, but not for others. Amazon will ban his Prime account if they find out he's using it commercially. I had something similar happen once, but the other way around. I bought one of those beds in a tube on Amazon. It shows up with a Walmart invoice stuck to it. The guy ordered it on Walmart's website for about $20 less than he charged on Amazon and had it shipped directly to me. LLB return policy and lifetime warranty on things that gets abused. This was the one I was looking for. Truly a shame people had to get that greedy. Buying storage auctions. I bow them for 25 years. It used to be that you could buy them for a reasonable price. You might even make a little. After the popular TV shows, there are too many people thinking that every locker will have hidden cash or jewelry. It is rare that you find something hidden of great value. I've quit buying them until the craze dies down. My family has a self-storage business and those shows have been great for us. Before, units wouldn't sell at auction and we'd have to pay someone to clean them out. Now we get hundreds of dollars for complete junk. There's a reason people don't come back for their stuff. It's not worth anything. Going to the gym at 1 AM. I just wanted the whole place to myself. I too go to a 24-hour gym. Are you telling me that it's actually busy at 1 AM? Every time I go to the gym there's this guy, calls himself Ego, always hogs the equipment I want to use and shows off by putting on more weight than I can properly lift. I've tried going on different times, but he's always there, hitting on women and being just obnoxious. The gym just ain't big enough for the two of us. Flying at early hours and SAPRA check. There's times where at 6-7 am the pre-check line is longer than the normal line. Flying in general, a significant percentage of people have no idea how to behave in a confined space with others around. Rule 1. Never share a hidden gem. Not with a friend or family member. Hell, maybe not even your dog who you think can keep a secret. At work I have a hidden bathroom. It's on a floor of the building that shuts down at 3 PM. I happen to know the elevator code being IT and all, and I work 1 PM to 9 PM usually. That means any shit I have to take I get a whole building floor to shit in peace in a super clean luxury bathroom. Going to Disneyland. Even on odd days and times the place is still packed and the best rides have 1 hour 2 hours wait to them. I've only been to Disneyland, Cali, once, which was 5 years ago, and really enjoyed it, although I live in Australia so it was something special. Driving. Can't get anywhere with this traffic now. There's just too many damn people. We need a new plague. My favorite toilet seat at the beach bathrooms. Yo, favorite stalls are literally the worst when you get there all excited to find drops of piss or it's unflushed. Definitely drones. I used to be able to fly in national parks until it was quickly outlawed because lots of people were doing it, but also being very obnoxious with it. One by one, idiots just kept making the news by doing things they definitely shouldn't have been doing with drones. Sooner or later, I had to get mine registered. Now there's all kinds of restrictions and limitations and it just makes it so frustrating to even bother anymore. I still feel like drones got big overnight. One day I see albino team black sheep on YouTube building FPV flying wings with cameras from all sorts of resources and flying through the Alps. Next day there's ready to fly drones everywhere. It's most apparent in TV, as now every small documentary has aerial footage. GPU marketing. The boom of cryptocurrencies ruined it so much that every online shop has been out of stock for several months, raising the price of graphic cards by a lot. I was trying to build a PC 3 months ago and they were so overpriced that I had to spend at least €300 more. Fidget spinners. I am a teacher and instantly realized there were a few kids I knew that would benefit from a toy like that in class and everyday life. Then everyone else who they weren't designed for, starting making them a trend that completely blew up. Meaning that one kid I knew who did have one and used it as a coping mechanism got beaten up and it's stolen. He saw another kid had one and went up to him saying they have the same toy and are friends. Other kid was a a-hole and beat him up because he didn't want to be seen with a boy on the spectrum. Like all trends, when they end, anyone left who would have loved and benefited from it are now behind with the times and cue derogatory terms. It's a shame. Shopping at thrift stores. I grew up poor so pretty much all of my clothes came from the thrift store. I still liked shopping there. When I was in high school we were better off. There was one on the walk from the train to my house that I went to pretty much every other day after school. The prices never changed much and I got some of my favorite sweaters from there, like this one that I call Frenchman and this awesome Halloween sweater. Around my senior of high school I started noticing hipsters coming in with lists of things to buy. These guys would come to thrift stores with items they wanted for their boutique shops where they would sell them as vintage for a huge markup. After that started becoming huge, the prices got higher and higher. These people ruin thrift stores by making them start jacking up their prices, and I hate that it happened because I loved shopping there. There is a store like that here. All they do is buy vintage stuff from thrift stores that resell for absurd amounts. The crazy thing is, people buy this shit for these absurd prices. Thrift stores are also fantastic for theater people. I work as a technician and when we go through budgeting for everything, lights, sound, scenic, props, costumes usually get a relatively short stick. Places like Savers are awesome because you can get tons of assorted things, and if they aren't quite right we can chop them up and repurpose them for real cheap. Stargazing. We went to the middle of nowhere, Utah, with no light pollution. Recommended by my uncle for stargazing. We get there and across the street from the national park is a strip mall with a brightly lit parking lot and a giant neon sign welcoming the annual stargazing convention. So much for zero light pollution. Retail Me Not and other coupon sites used to be a surefire way to save money while shopping. Nowadays I can't remember the last time I found a useful coupon code online. You mean you don't want a promo code for a free box of Argyle sweaters that only fit iguanas when you make a purchase of at least $500? That's if you actually find coupon codes. They're all just a list of the site's sales. Good 80s and 90s music you've been listening forever and all of a sudden the song has been made a meme and now everyone thinks you like the song because it's in a meme. Controversial opinion. Traveling. Affordable airfare is really cool for average people looking to get out and see the world, but inevitably as a result many great places you dream of visiting are just trashy parodies of themselves. Beautiful places are overrun with trash, ugly buildings, and tourists. Such a shame. Damn tourists. Ruining my tourism. Chicken wings used to be super cheap before the damn wing craze. Also oxtails were cheap as hell just 5-7 years ago. Damn hipsters. You've just made me realize how long it's been since I've seen a 25-cent or 50-cent wing happy hour. Social media. For real, FB was better when it was college students only. Selfie sticks. I travel by myself a lot and the only good way to get some shots that include both my head and the background I want is with the aid of a selfie stick. I've had mine since they were made for point and shoot cameras, not cell phones. Had to order it from some e-store in Ukraine over a dozen years ago. Now a bunch of places have banned selfie sticks because idiots with their selfie sticks use them as weapons or to do stupid things like climbing up statues in museums to get a good angle for their Instagram. Strangers are not always the best photographers. So yeah, thanks for ruining my pictures, obnoxious selfie stick users. There was a vending machine in my dorm room that would kick out 2 sprites if you hit the button just right. It lasted about 6 months for a couple of us. Then one loose lip led to another and they fixed the machine. Loose lips steal sips. Rick and Morty. Yoga was a refuge from the mean girls and a place to build oneself up, and now it's just vapid undulating Lululemons and Shannons with their Land Rover and skinny fraps. I wish I would have not been such a vocal advocate for it. LPT. Never be a vocal advocate for something you love. The last thing you want is too many people doing it and ruining it. Moving to LA to make it in Hollywood. The most attractive people from every high school in every town were told they should be actors. Market is so saturated with young attractive talent that odds are your waitress has a pretty lengthy IMDb page and some serious college debt. Don't get me wrong. The beauty of this city and of the industry is that sometimes here the American dream is real and anybody can be the success story. But it's definitely not helping traffic, parking, or rent prices. Antibiotics. They were supposed to be the ultimate cure for bacterial infections, even though researchers were trying to warn everybody not to overuse them from day one. People did. Many started to take even the strongest ones like candy or gave them to animals for no reason. And now we have antibiotic resistant bacteria and we're looking at the possibility of a new population decimating plague. Emotional support animals. I know people love their dogs, but not all people love dogs. I love my dogs, and they do provide me with a ton of emotional support. That being said, I don't have such severe social anxiety I need their support to leave the house. I don't have night terrors or PTSD so severe that I can't leave her behind for a week while I go on vacation. I'm not so depressed that the calming and inspiring presence of my animals is what helps me get out of bed every morning. Emotional support animals are true heroes in some people's lives, but it's becoming more and more difficult for them to do their jobs. The more people take advantage of the gray area these animals fall into when it comes to service animals just so their furry friend can go everywhere with them, they create obstacles for the people who truly need the help of an animal for a debilitating emotional situation. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.